People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home, visit statewaterheaters.com and use our contractor locator to find an installer near you.
The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
Good evening, race fans. We are live from Volusia Speedway Park for night one of Coolray WinterNationals with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. We're watching some of the cars on the track now, including week one, race one winner Dylan Perry as they practice around here at Volusia. It's been an exciting week here in Florida, starting of course on Sunday with the Daytona 500 at the big track just down the road. Now we're at Barberville. We're racing tonight, tomorrow night, and Thursday night. And then we will end next weekend back with the LEC Electric Next Gen Series back at the big track over in Daytona. We've got an exciting night of racing tonight. We've got a 50-lap feature. We've got double points. And we will be back. We're going to speak with week one winner Dylan Perry. Again, you're watching Extreme eSpeed TV. The drivers had made some practice around Volusia for tonight's big event. Tonight we've got four heats on tap. We've got a last chance showdown sponsored by Comb Cuts, and then we'll have our main event, the Winter Nationals race number 1 feature event to round out the night. As we talked about a little bit, race 1 went to Dylan Perry for the first race of the 2022 season. Interested to see what other drivers try to make some moves this week, as we've got 3 nights of racing, 50-lap features each night, double points, so some major points available for drivers to pick up. We were here last week with the Mr. Plumber Toilet Bowl 100. Dylan Perry was a player in that one as well. He methodically moved up through the field, ended up racing Aiden Young for the win, as those two and then Steven Speeds really led the field for majority of the race last week. It's going to be interesting who can adjust to the track tonight and who can pick up as many points as possible this week. As we said, double points and a lot of exciting racing action from Volusia. Let's head back to commercial break, as right now the track is quiet, and we will be back from Volusia. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
Racers, get the most horsepower from your crate engine with ProFabrication headers and exhaust. ProFabrication headers and exhaust is an official partner of the American Crate All-Star Series and used by winning racers such as Dylan Brown, Logan Robertson, Carson Ferguson, Christian Hanger, Cody Overton, and Eli Beats. ProFabrication headers and exhaust, just a click of a mouse away at ProFabrication.com. Quality that wins. Get yours at ProFabrication.com.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau and I created the Springrthm app. The Springrthm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a spring smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a spring smasher, Springrthm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes as well as load changes. Springrthm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
It rose from humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun. A sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history. Arizona Sport Shirts, the original racing shirt.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. Some interesting facts as we look ahead to this evening. This will be the 5th time the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series has raced at Volusia over the last 3 seasons. We have 4 different winners heading into tonight. In 2020, Chase Wascom and Brian Hacker picked up victories. And last year in 2021, Justin Glendhill and Colby Horner claimed victory. Looking at our field, obviously we've talked about Dylan Perry. We've got some other drivers looking to continue success they've had. We have 4 winners from the Pro Late Model Dirt Series in the field. That includes Dylan Perry with 2, Chase Wascom, the all-time win leader, with 13, Jacob Lassiter with 1, and Tater Williams with 5. We've added a bunch of new names this year to the series, so it's going to be interesting to see throughout the year as these mix of drivers continue to race each other, get to know each other, and see kind of who bubbles up to the top. There's plenty of solid performers throughout this field that's going to keep us entertaining not only tonight, but throughout the remainder of the season, and we cannot wait to get started. It looks like the guys are still preparing for qualifying. We will have Houston Guttering time trials coming up shortly, followed by carrier heat races, the Combs Cut Last Chance Showdown, and then the Coolray WinterNationals feature race night number 1 here at Volusia Speedway Park. Let's take one more commercial break before we head into qualifying, and
We take many precautions to stay protected. Online protection requires the same amount of precaution. Cybercrime is a $6 trillion industry. Roughly 158 people fall victim to this type of crime every second, and a business will be compromised every 11 seconds. In the last 3 years alone, the number of malicious websites has increased by 130%. Bottom line, you need protection from someone you trust. Call Computer Pros for protection plans as low as $4 a month.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
New year, new season. Extreme eSpeed TV brings you live coverage of the Light Electric Company Next Gen Series. See the Next Gen Series' biggest stars battle in iRacing's most competitive series. Elbows up, hammer down action. The Light Electric Company Next Gen Series, live on Extreme eSpeed TV. Your home for everything eSpeed.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. The drivers are finishing up the drivers meeting with Series Director Cody Early, and then after that we will be headed into Houston Guttering time trials qualifying. We're going to try to get 2 or 3 guys on the track at each time, cycle through them all. We'll show you what we can as they go to set the lineups for heats tonight. As we've talked about, we've got drivers up and down this field. Looking back at the Mr. Plumber Toilet Bowl 100 last week, some drivers that made some noise. Steven Spees was running up top, running up front, and was fast until a late race caution bumped him back. He ended up still collecting a top 10 finish. We had Brandon Bender, was fast all night. He ended up in a top 5 finish. We had Aiden Young, as we mentioned. He was fast all night, ran top 3. Really controlled the evening until about 6/10 of the way through, when Dylan Perry was able to get in front of him right before the caution flag came out, and that allowed Dylan to pull away at the end, with Aiden trying to see what he could do after falling out of the lead. Jordan Van Western had a great run. Lots of drivers up and down this field. John Foskey, Tater Williams, John Hine. John Hine last week ended up winning the Last Chance Showdown, started towards the back of the field, made his way up for a top 10 finish. So there's another one that you can keep your eye on tonight and see who can move up and down the field. 50-lap feature, so half the amount of laps we had last week. Really going to put some pressure on these guys to move up and down the field, especially if caught up in cautions, different troubles throughout the event. But we have seen drivers able to pull away if they get out front. Track will change throughout the evening. You see the sun is setting here in Florida. The track will change. We saw guys down low as they could go, as the fastest route. We saw some guys hanging out up top. It'll be interesting to see who's able to find the fastest groove around the track and who's able to take advantage of that. So we are just now getting ready for qualifying. We will take a look at who comes out on the track as they are now preparing. Let's take one more commercial break before Houston Guttering time trials. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
We take many precautions to stay protected. Online protection requires the same amount of precaution. Cybercrime is a $6 trillion industry. Roughly 158 people fall victim to this type of crime every second, and a business will be compromised every 11 seconds. In the last 3 years alone, the number of malicious websites has increased by 130%. Bottom line, you need protection from someone you trust. Call Computer Pros for protection plans as low as $4 a month.
New year, new season. Extreme eSpeed TV brings you live coverage of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. See Dirt Pro Late Model's biggest stars battle in iRacing's most competitive series. Elbows up, hammer down action. The Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, live on Extreme eSpeed TV. Your home for everything eSpeed.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook. 107 Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home, visit statewaterheaters.com and use our contractor locator to find an installer near you.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. We are about to get underway with Houston Guttering time trials, with cars getting on the track to kick off tonight's events. So we will have a couple drivers out on the track at each time. We'll try to capture as many of them as we can. We'll keep you updated with times as the qualifying session is now underway. There is the 3 machine of Cody Early. Cody Terry there right next to him as well. Cody Terry had a heartbreaking finish to the last chance showdown last week at the Toilet Bowl 100, just missed making the big feature event. Seeing some beautiful shots of Volusia Speedway Park down here in Barberville, Florida. We'll be down here for the next 3 evenings. Plenty of racing action in Florida in February. Dirt track, asphalt, everything you can imagine. We got some qualifying sessions in already. Tater Williams with a 16:02 is the fastest so far. Talkington just behind him. Doesn't do it. Zach Chapman and John Foskey get laps in. John Foskey shoots to the top of the charts with a 15.8, just edging Tater Williams for the top spot after 4 cars. Next group has Aiden Young and John Hine. Aiden Young will end up second, 1/10 off of Foskey's time. John Hine will come in fourth, just shy of Tater Williams. Hine's second lap will shoot him up to second, just shy of Foskey's P1 speed. Out on the track now, we've got the Dylan Perry machine. Dylan drives a CVR race car sponsored by Coolray, Rapid Race Graphics, Mashburn Equipment, Stealth Racing Carburetors. First time will be second quick. 7/100ths off of John Foskey's time. Second lap will not improve. He'll end up P2, 7/100ths off of John Foskey. Next up will be Cody Early. He drives the 3E machine from Greenville, Tennessee. The Warrior race car sponsored by Food City, Bass Pro Shops, Vortex Wraps, Vic Hill Race Engines, and Oakley. Cody's first lap, coming 8th fastest. Also on the track we got Cody Terry. Cody Terry's in the number 25 Longhorn. Groundbound Calls, Spencer Boyd LLC, Comb Cuts, CBR, Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, Tight In, Loose Off, Bangin' Sets, Longhorn Chassis. His time coming 9th fastest, just off of Cody Early's time. John Foskey still leads the field as of right now, as we wait for the next group of drivers to get out on the track. Brett Carlton in the 224 Rocket XR1 Southern Style Racing Engines, Chip Banger Racing, LLC Property Investments. He comes out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida. Comes around for his first lap. He will end up Steven Spees, also out on the track right now, comes in 6th with his first lap. He comes around for his second lap. And will not improve. He'll end up 6th. Brett Carlton will end up 7th. John Foskey still leading the way after 11 cars have hit the track. Justin Thompson out on the field with Dustin Kenyon right behind him. Justin from Fairmount, Georgia, drives a Longhorn chassis, Hood Up Motorsports. Thompson Designs, Dirt Chassis Media, Rambler Motors. First time. First lap is P2, 1/100th off of John Foskey's time for P2. Dustin Kenyon had 12th fastest time his first time around. He drives a Longhorn chassis from Greenville, Tennessee. Kenyon Racing Catchfest Apparel Company CBR. His second lap does not improve. He'll end up P12. Next up, the number 95 machine of Dylan Hutchinson from Holt Summit, Missouri, driving a Longhorn chassis, CBR 25, ZD Photos, Comb Cuts, KMJ Graphics. Dylan's first lap will come in 8th fastest. And his second time will keep him right there, P8, just behind Steven Spees. We've got 14 drivers done. We've got John Foskey, Justin Thompson, Dylan Perry, and John Hine leading the way. So far, some of the drivers we saw last week in the Mr. Plumber Toilet Bowl 100 have gravitated towards the top of the Houston Guttering qualifying time trials. As we wait for the second half of the field to head out on the track. Jacob Lassiter had 12th fastest time. Josh Johnson ends up with the 15th. Lassiter shoots up to P6. Lassiter from Doors Den, Tennessee. Josh Johnson's second lap will keep him P5, 0.53 off of John Foskey's fastest time thus far. Brian Voiles heads out on the track. Behind him will be DC Smith. Brian Voiles from Decatur, Illinois, in the dependable concrete Hoosier by Smash I-Flag Maverick Simulations Longhorn chassis. man's first time. He will end up P14. DC Smith comes around for his first time left. DC from Washington, West Virginia. He is in the Riverside Fabrication CBR B&B Bates Comb Cuts Bangin' Sets by CBR Team Zero race car. First time came in 13th fastest, second lap. Almost identical laps. He'll stay P13. Next up, the number 12, Jordan Van Westen. Also headed out to the track is the number 75, Andy Piercefield. Jordan from Del Rapids, South Dakota. Elite chassis, mid-state machine, bodies by FRC, Rosenbauer of America, Pizza Ranch, Norby's Bar and Grill, TNC self-service. Jordan's first lap. He will end up 19th fastest. Andy Piercefield's first lap, 13th fastest. Andy Piercefield, Woodstock, Virginia, in his Masterbuilt race car, sponsored by Coolray Air Conditioning, Arizona Sport Shirts, CBR, and Extreme eSpeed TV. His second lap will keep him P13 with 3 to go. We've got Brandon Bender, Brandon Combs, and Colin Voiles left to qualify. John Foskey with the fastest time. Justin Thompson 1/100th off of that time. There's the number 28 Brandon Combs machine. Brandon from Cincinnati, Ohio. CBR, Combs Cuts, Bangin' Sets, Coolray Air Conditioning, B&B Bates, Cobber Combs Fan Club in a Longhorn chassis. Brandon comes around to complete his first lap. He will be 6th fastest. Just over 1/10 off the fastest lap thus far. His second lap. Slightly off, and he will stay 6th fastest with 2 left to qualify. Brandon Bender out on the track. He's from Minford, Ohio. B&B Bates, Comb Cuts, Bangin' Sets, CBR, Longhorn race car. Like we said, he was extremely fast last week in the Toilet Bowl 100. Very consistent. I think he ended up with the fastest lap of the race. He comes around for his first time lap. He will shoot up to number 16 with a 16.12. Colin Voiles, his first lap, 19th fastest, 16.25. Colin from Dalton City, Illinois, in his Pierce Platinum chassis Mount Zion Auto Service car, his second lap. Slightly faster, moves up to 18th fastest with a 16.1 or 21. And that will complete qualifying here at Volusia Speedway Park. We've got John Foskey with the fastest lap, Justin Thompson second, Dylan Perry third, John Hine fourth, Aiden Young fifth. Some fast cars up front. We will see how it shakes out. We've got carrier heat races coming up next. We will get those lineups set. Another beautiful night in Florida for night number 1 of Coolray WinterNationals at Volusia Speedway Park. As we've mentioned, we are here the next 3 nights. Kicks off tonight. Race evening number 2 tomorrow. Carrier heat race number 1 lines up like this. The fastest qualifier, the 128 of John Foskey. Aiden Young starting second. Stephen Spees starting third. John Talkington in the number 48 in fourth. Joshua Johnson in the 117 starts sixth. Next to Brett Carlton starting fifth in the 224. Pace truck has his lights off. We will go green this time by John Foskey. Oh, one more lap. John Foskey will lead us to green. John Foskey leads us to green, and we are green at Volusia. We've got a clean start going into 1. John Foskey holding the inside lane. Aiden Young, slips up a little bit in 2 and 3. He'll slide back. Stephen Spees moves up to second, taking advantage of that with Brett Carlton not far behind. John Foskey pulls away after lap number 1. Stephen Spees in second. Brett Carlton and John Talkington battling for 4th and 5th. John Foskey pulls away from Stephen Spees with Aiden Young in 3rd. Foskey leads another lap as they singled out in the single file formation around Volusia. Foskey's pulled away to a half-second lead. Running middle of the 1 and 2 as they follow each other right in each other's tracks. Spees trying to go on down to the inside to grab a little bit of grip and moisture. Foskey pulled away a little bit that lap, as now Brett Carlton tries to slide to the inside of Aiden Young. Spees continues to run low to try to grab some grip and gain on Foskey. Foskey continues to pull away. The white flag for John Foskey, 25-year-old out of Dublin, Georgia. Spees makes a move in turn 3 to see what he can get. He gets up alongside Foskey, but Foskey wins it coming off 4. Heat number 1. Carrier heat number 2. Starting in the first position, Justin Thompson in the number 98. Alongside him, Brandon Combs out of Ohio. 3, Dylan Hutchinson. Cody Early starts 4th. And then the last row, Colin Boyles next to Cody Terry. as they line up on the front stretch, waiting to get caution laps underway. We'll have Justin Thompson and Brandon Combs lead us to green here at Volusia. We'll make one more lap before we go green in this Carrier Heat Race number 2. Pace truck lights are off. Justin Thompson, Brandon Combs ready to lead us to green.
Green flag, green flag.
We are green at Volusia. Clean start for Brandon Combs on the high side as he takes advantage. Justin Thompson fights back on the inside. Combs will lead it coming off of 2. Justin Thompson's not falling back as he's hanging right there with Combs as they come out of 4, completing lap number 1. Thompson to the inside of Combs, grabbing the position, coming off 2. They get together. Hutchinson takes advantage of it as Brandon Combs gets into the wall after getting into Justin Thompson. Let's take a look at that replay. Right there, coming off of 2, they ran out of real estate. Combs hitting that opening right off of 2. Justin Thompson will take P1. Dylan Hutchinson takes advantage of that, moving up to 2nd. Colin Boyles 3rd. Cody Early 4th. Cody Terry 5th. And Brandon Combs currently in 6th. It's our first caution of the evening here in Carrier Heat Race number 2. There was some good racing right before that battle for the lead back between Cody Early and Cody Terry, battling for 4th and 5th. As we'll restack them, get ready to go back to green here at Volusia as we look to set not only the feature event but also the last chance showdown from these heat races. Lights are still on. We'll do at least one more lap. Looks like Combs is doing some work on his number 28 machine. They are lined back up. That means we will go back to green, this time by Justin Thompson, Dylan Hutchinson leading the way. Pace truck lights are off as they round 3 and 4.
Green flag, green flag.
We are back to green at Volusia. Great restart by Justin Thompson as they head into 1 and 2. Cody Terry trying to make a move on the inside. Dylan Hutchinson battling up, getting up to the rear of Thompson as they go into 3 and 4. Cars spread out as they come out of 4. 5 laps to go in Carrier Heat Race number 2. We got a battle for 2nd between Hutchinson and Colin Boyles. Boyles on the inside, gonna try to make the move, coming off of 4. Side by side at the line with 4 to go. Colin is really trying to make that inside line work. When they come out of that corner though, he just runs out of real estate with Dylan Hutchinson right there waiting for him. Cody Early trying to catch up to Cody Terry for a battle for 4th. Cody moves to the inside in 1 and 2. As Justin Thompson's pulled away with 3 laps to go, coming to 2 to go. Cody Early trying to make that inside move work. We've seen a lot of guys trying to go down in there, try to make that inside work, but when they come up off that corner, it's just not there for them to keep accelerating. They have to let off. They end up falling right back in line as Justin Thompson takes 1 lap to go. Justin Thompson around 3 and 4. He will pick up Carrier Heat Race number 2 at Volusia. Heat number 2 results: Justin Thompson, Hutchinson Voiles, Cody Terry, Cody Early, and Brandon Combs. Heat race number 3 lineup. Dylan Perry will start first in his Chip Bangers Racing number 7. Jacob Lassiter second. Zach Chapman third. Andy Piercefield fourth. Brian Voiles fifth. And Jordan Van Westen sixth. Dylan Perry, winner at Volusia last week in the Toilet Bowl 100. Starting next to Jacob Lassiter. Jacob Lassiter picked up his first Coolray Pro Late Model Series Racing victory last season. As we mentioned earlier in the evening, we've had 4 Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series events here at Volusia. 4 different winners. See if we can go 5 for 5 tonight. Dylan Perry, Jacob Lassiter leading us to green. Pace truck is in.
Green, green, green.
Green flag at Volusia. Clean start as we head into 1 with cars still side by side. Dylan Perry pulls a little bit ahead of Lassiter and is able to make it stick coming off of 2. The 72 machine as Zach Chapman moves to the inside of Lassiter. Brian Voiles not far behind. We've got Lassiter and Chapman side by side going into 1 for the 2nd position. Brian Voiles gets a little loose coming out of 2, able to make Andy Piercefield move up for 4th position as they're side by side still for 2nd with Chapman and Lassiter. Dylan Perry sitting out in front as the 2 battle for 2nd place. Lassiter on the high side, Chapman on the inside. Chapman, a rookie for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series in 2022. Side by side with Lassiter going into 1. Chapman's been able to stay up with Lassiter with that inside lane, unlike some of the drivers in the first couple heat races, as they're still side by side going into 1. Andy Piercefield has a great view of this battle for 2nd. 4 laps to go. Dylan Perry starting to pull away as the 2nd and 3rd place drivers and Lassiter and Chapman continue to battle, with Lassiter finally able to pull away coming out of 4. Chapman's got his sights on him, ready to get back up there to battle with Lassiter. As Dylan Perry will take it with 2 laps to go coming out of 4. This is what we saw last week with Dylan, was staying right there in the middle in both 1 and 2, and then at the other end of the track in 3 and 4, as he'll come out of 4 and pick up the Coolray Heat Race victory. Dylan Perry, Jacob Lassiter, Zach Chapman, Andy Piercefield, Jordan Van Westen, and Brian Voiles round out your field for Carrier Heat Race number 3. heat race number 4 will start like this. Number 1, John Hine and his number 71 Gambler Motorsports. Starting second, Tater Williams, Chipbanger Racing, 182. Third, Brandon Bender. Fourth, DC Smith. And fifth, Dustin Kenyon. John Hine, as we mentioned, was fast last week in the Mr. Plumber Toilet Bowl 100, winning the Last Chance Showdown, starting back in the pack for the feature, and ending up with a top 10 finish. Tater Williams, 5-time Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series winner, starting second. One to watch is that Brandon Bender machine in third. Take one more lap around Volusia before going green. Pace truck lights are off. He'll duck into the infield coming out of 4.
Green flag,
John
green
Hine
flag.
and Tater Williams will lead us to green at Volusia. John Hine slides up in the middle of 1 and 2, opens the door for Tater Williams to shoot the gap and come out going into 3 with the lead. Brandon Bender also got up there to make it 3 wide as they're still battling coming out of 4. As John Hine will fall back to 4th. Tater Williams and Brandon Bender now battle first and second through 1 and 2. Bender now on that inside lane. Tater middle of the track. Tater will lead lap as we've got 6 to go in Coolray Carrier Heat Race number 4. Bender on that inside groove trying to make it stick. We've seen this in each heat race thus far. Very few have been able to make that move on the inside without the guy on the outside slipping up. As Tater Williams battles back coming out of 2, will take the lead down the backstretch, side by side, going into 3 and 4. Brandon Bender. The side-by-side action for the lead in carrier heat races is the theme thus far through the evening. With that inside guy trying to get up there, but coming out, they just run out of room. Side by side through 1 and 2. Williams, Bender battle for first and second as DC Smith, John Hine, and Dustin Kenyon watch on. With Tater Williams able to pull away going in there, he cuts down to the inside, cuts off Bender's momentum, and will be able to take that P1 spot with 2 to go. Brandon Bender shoots it into 3, trying to get up aside Tater again. Tater will take the white flag. Tater since moved down to that inside line since getting past Bender. He'll go through 3 and 4. Bender tries to make up as much ground as he can, but Tater Williams will win carrier heat race number 4. We've got Tater Williams, Brandon Bender, DC Smith, John Hine, and Dustin Kenyon. Coming up next, we've got the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. Last Chance Showdown, sponsored by Comb Cuts, will line up like this. John Talkington, Cody Early, Jordan Van Westen, Dustin Kenyon starting 4th, Joshua Johnson in the 117 5th, Brandon Combs 6th, and Brian Voyle 7th. Beautiful shots from overhead here at Volusia Speedway Park. So we've got a 12-lap last chance showdown to set the field for tonight's feature event. John Talkington and Cody Early starting on the front row for us tonight. Brandon Combs will line up 5th. He had issues in his heat after running up front. It'll be interesting to see what he can do if he can move up through that field. We will go around one more lap before going green. Beautiful evening here tonight in Florida. Not a bad place to get stuck for 3 nights in February. Pace truck lights are off. He'll shoot to the inside here off of 4. Talkington and Early coming to green.
Green, green, green.
We are green at Volusia. Side by side going into 1 throughout the field. John Talkington on the inside. Early slips up a little bit going into 2. As Joshua Johnson and Dustin Kenyon battle for 3rd. Brandon Combs trying to make something as the 12 of Jordan Van Weston gets sideways in 3 and 4. We'll keep going green. We've got 3 wide racing for 3rd as Brandon Combs continues to try to move up through that field. They bounce off each other, able to keep it going straight. As Combs continues to look for ways to move up through. John Talkington pulls away slightly as they battle back here for 3rd through 6th. Combs trying to make a move again on the inside. Can't go any lower than he is now. He'll see what he can do as he heads into 3, slides over to the outside. That opens the door for Dustin Kenyon as the caution comes out for Jordan Van Weston. Let's take a look with our Coolray replay. Looked like Jordan was just trying to get into the infield there and caught the wall coming out of 4. So we've got John Talkington, Joshua Johnson, Brian Voiles, Combs, Kenyon Early, and then Van Weston here in Combs Cut's last chance showdown. We talked about it before this race. Combs had a fast car in his heat, got caught up in a wreck coming out of 2, sent him to the Combs Cut's last chance showdown here, and he has moved his way up to 4th after starting 6th. Brian Voiles moved up 4 positions to 3rd after starting at the tail end of the field. And Josh Johnson up 3 spots up to 2nd. So some fast cars moving up through the field here in the last chance showdown. We've got 9 laps to go here with our first caution in the last chance showdown. The track's starting to change here after the heat races and now the last chance race. They'll double file restart them here, coming to green this time by. Jordan Van Weston's back out on the track. Talkington and Johnson will lead us back to green. The car to watch though so far in this showdown race has been the 41 and the 28. They're in that 2nd row. See if they can continue to move up. And we are back to green at Volusia. Talkington gets a great restart as he's able to shoot out front. Johnson tries to make move, but slides up coming out of 2, opening the door on the inside for Combs. Brandon Combs is now up to P2. Combs is able to make the move on Johnson. Now his sights are set on Talkington. Brandon Combs using that high line following Talkington's tracks as they go down the backstretch. He gets to the inside of him as they're 3 wide, coming through 4. Brandon Combs will lead that lap as he's completed his mission with Talkington to his outside. He slides up in front of him, opens the door for Talkington on the inside. Talkington's able to pull ahead moving into 3 with Combs on his outside, and Talkington will lead the lap. Great battle here at the front of the field in our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown at Volusia. Talkington back to the inside as Combs got past him in 1 and 2. They're side by side going through 3 and 4. Talkington's able to make up a lot of ground there in 3 and 4 as Combs continues to search for where the best place to be is. As 1 and 2, he's able to pick up some ground. Combs moves down a little there and is able to pull up to the bumper of Talkington as they go into 1 and 2 with 3 to go. We've got Voiles and Johnson battling for 3rd as Combs makes his move on the inside for Talkington going into 3. Combs will pull away and take that lap with 2 laps to go as Talkington moves back to the inside. We've got great side-by-side racing here at Volusia. Combs able to pull away. He's moved back to the middle of the track to the high side, opening that door for Talkington as both these drivers take the white flag as they move all over this track. Voiles and Johnson want to enter the party on this last lap as Combs just slightly pulls away, coming into 3 and 4, and will take the victory in the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown, setting the field for tonight's feature event. We'll get the final rundown for the Last Chance Showdown there. With Brandon Combs picking up victory, John Talkington second. Great battle there for the win. Brian Voiles, Johnson Settle 3rd and 4th. Dustin Kenyon, Cody Early, and Jordan Van Westen will round out the field. We will go to commercial as we prepare for tonight's feature event, the Coolray WinterNationals race number 1. We will be back shortly. You are watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
.107 Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
season. Extreme eSpeed TV brings you live coverage of the Light Electric Company Next Gen Series. See the Next Gen Series' biggest stars battle in iRacing's most competitive series. Elbows up, hammer down action. The Light Electric Company Next Gen Series, live on Extreme eSpeed TV. Your home for everything eSpeed.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park as we prepare for tonight's Coolray WinterNationals race number 1. Before we get underway, let's send it down to trackside for Dirt Track Racing Ministries Invocation.
Good evening, everyone. Russ Ward from Dirt Racing Outreach. Thank you for the opportunity to join your program tonight, and we're going to lead you off for your tonight's invocation. Let's have a word of prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, God, we thank you, Lord, for such a great day that you have blessed us with. God, we thank you that your word reminds us in James chapter 1, verse 19, to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. God, when we apply those things to our lives, Lord, we know that our lives are so much better. And when we're in racing, Lord, we know that we don't tend to remember those things. But God, I ask tonight you just remind our drivers, Lord, as they go forward, to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And just be reminded that we're so blessed to be involved in a sport that we love so much and to be able to do the things that we're doing. So we just thank you, God, for your presence. We thank you, God, for your love, your grace, and your mercy. And we just ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I forgot.
And now for tonight's national anthem. It is now time for our main event, the Coolray WinterNationals, race number 1 at Volusia Speedway Park. The officials are working on lining up that field for tonight's feature event. Reminder, it's going to be 50 laps around this track, double points, as drivers will try to gain as many points as possible this week. As we mentioned, we've got racing tonight, tomorrow night, and Thursday here at Volusia. Double points each night. That's 6 races worth of points in 3 nights. So major point implications here this week at Volusia. Also a reminder, Extreme eSpeed TV will be back on air both tomorrow and Thursday night, but then we'll head over to Daytona International Speedway on Sunday night for the LEC Electric Next Gen Series on the asphalt. The cars are lined up. Let's start taking a look at our field for tonight's main event. Starting first, we've got John Foskey. He hit the fastest lap in Comb Cuts qualifying. Starting second, Justin Thompson. Third, Dylan Perry. Fourth, Tater Williams. Fifth, Steven Spees, the highest starting rookie in tonight's race. Sixth, Dylan Hutchinson. Seventh, Jacob Lassiter. Eighth, Brandon Bender. We've got Aiden Young in 9th, Colin Voiles in 10th, with Zach Chapman and DC Smith starting in 12th. 13th, we've got Brett Carlton next to Cody Terry. Andy Piercefield starting 15th, John Hine next to him in 16th, Brandon Combs 17, 18 John Talkington, 19 Brian Voiles, 20 Joshua Johnson, 21 Dustin Kenyon, 22 Cody Early, and Jordan Weston rounding out the field in 23rd. They will line up 4 wide for a salute to the fans that have come out here at Volusia tonight. A great showing, as we expect it to be all week long. Nothing cooler than that at a dirt race to get the night started with the feature event. This will be the 5th race for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series here at Volusia Speedway Park. 4 different winners thus far. Let's see who can claim victory tonight in this 50-lap feature. Plenty of speed throughout the field. Should be fun to see how this one shakes out. Pace truck makes his way to the front. With John Foskey and Justin Thompson leading this field. Someone to watch. We talked about him in the last Chain Showdown. Brandon Combs gonna start in 17th. See if he can make his way up through the field. We know he's got a fast car. See what he can do. iRacing Pace Truck makes his way around turn 4. Aiden Young will start 9th. He was fast last week here at Volusia in the Toilet Bowl 100. Be interesting to see what he can do, make his way up through the field. Jonathan Bender starting 8th. He was fast last week as well. A lot of guys with a lot of experience here at Volusia the last couple weeks. It'll be interesting to see if that pays off. We've seen throughout the night, some guys have tried to make that low side work. Some guys have tried to make the high side work. We've even seen guys speed through the middle. Going to be really interesting to see what this track does over the course of 50 laps. officials getting some things set before we go green here. iRacing paint truck makes
Green,
a
green,
hard
green.
left, and John Foskey takes us green at Volusia. Front six are side by side going into turn one. Dylan Perry gets a little shaken up there on the inside of Tater Williams as John Foskey and Thompson side by side going into three. Foskey's able to slide up. He'll move to the high side as Thompson goes to the inside as they come into F1. We've got three wide racing for fourth, fifth, and sixth there with Tater, Williams, Speed, and Hutchinson.
The yellow flag is out.
And the yellow flag comes out. We'll take a Coolray replay and see what happened back in the field. It just shook up a little bit there. First caution of the night. John Foskey, Thompson were able to pull away. Dylan Perry got caught up with Tater Williams in two. He fell back a couple positions, now sitting in fifth. As we'll cycle through the field here under caution. Looks like Andy Piercefield, John Hine may have had some issues that caused that caution there. Tater Williams moved up to third with his battle with Dylan Perry. Interesting to see that top five is very fast here tonight. Interesting thing, Dylan Perry has 2 wins. Tater Williams has 5. The other 3 have yet to win on the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Going to be very interesting with the competition throughout the field. Who's able to pick up some victories this year? A lot of opportunities for some first-time winners, so it's going to be exciting all season long. Someone we talked about in pre-race moving up through the field was Brandon Combs. He's moved up 3 spots. He's up to 14th. We saw him have some issues moving up in that last chance showdown throughout the entirety of the race. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to stay patient, pick them off one by one, and get up in there to battle for victory. Back up to the leaders with John Foskey, Justin Thompson, Tater Williams, Dylan Hutchinson, Dylan Perry, your top 5. iRacing Pace Truck still has his lights on. We'll go around at least one more time. Has rejoined the field. We've seen a lot of side-by-side racing throughout the carrier heat races, throughout the comb cuts, last chance showdown, and it's continued here into this 50-lap feature event. Pace Truck still has his lights on as we sort out some things from an official standpoint. Steven Spees is our top running rookie. He was fast last week in the Toilet Bowl 100. They're in that 55 machine. Summit, Missouri. Looks like the Pace Truck has his lights off. Foskey and Thompson will lead us to green here at Volusia. pace truck heads into the infield.
Green flag, green
We've
flag.
got a green flag at Volusia. Foskey's able to pull away, going into 1 and 2 with Tater Williams behind him, Justin Thompson, and Dylan Perry making a move through the first 2 corners after going green. Also on the inside, the number 95 of Hutchinson making a move as they're 3 wide coming out of 4. Foskey will lead the lap as they battle back for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Spees, Hutchinson, 4 wide.
Caution.
Ooh, we got a caution as Tater Williams gets into Hutchinson. Let's take a look at that green flag. 3 wide. Let's make it 4 wide. And there it is. Looks like the 95 got together, checked up. Tater Williams had nowhere to go. Brings out our second caution. And we will reshuffle the deck here with some of the top runners getting caught up in that action. Interesting thing there was, it wasn't the 4 wide drivers causing that caution. It was the guys just side by side in front of them getting together. Phenomenal racing here, as it has been all season long. Level of competition in this Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series is going to be very exciting in 2022. As the 95 moves back out on the track, that's Hutchinson. We'll let the rundown cycle through and get a recap of where we're at. There's Tater Williams. He's at the back of the field now after being caught up in that. John Foskey still up front. Dylan Perry was able to make a move. Him and Spees really took advantage of that restart. By the time they came out at 2, they were up battling for the lead. Jacob Lassiter in 3rd. Looks like the lights are off the iRacing pace truck. See if we'll go green this time by. We've got 4 laps complete in this 50-lap feature event. Aiden Young's moved up a couple spots. He's now running 6th. As the pace truck dives into the infield.
Green.
We're back to green at Volusia. Foskey with a great start, able to get in front of Dylan Perry as Lassiter, Thompson, and Spees move up into the picture for the top 5. Spees and Thompson continue side by side as they go into 4. Moving up to Jacob Lassiter in 3rd. Thompson really sticking down as low as he can go to see what he can get down there. As he continues to inch his way forward with Foskey and Dylan Perry single file. Thompson almost got a little too low there in 1 and 2. Slowed down his momentum as Spees moves to his outside. Aiden Young sitting right outside, looking at that top 5. Outside of Thompson. Aiden Young moves to the inside. Up front, we've got Foskey and Dylan Perry battle. They single out throughout the top 10. We'll come to 10 laps complete this time by as the field is stretched out single file. Spees tries to make a move on Thompson. Aiden Young tries to make a move inside of Spees. 3 wide behind them. And look who it is. Brandon Combs moved up 10 spots as he's now
the yellow flag
position
is out.
as the yellow comes out for the 3rd time. We'll take a look at that one. Coolray instant replay. Stack the field. DC Smith looked off the pace. He might have been the one to bring that caution out there. Great racing throughout the field. We saw some side-by-side action that green flag run before before they were able to stretch out. That was our longest run of the evening thus far. Foskey's been able to stay up front. He's had multiple guys get up to that second position and battle him, but none of them have been able to get by him yet. It's similar to what we saw last week where Aiden Young was able to lead. He was able to race where he wanted to. He didn't have to worry about he just kept pacing his lane. And then Dylan Perry was able to catch him going into 3 with a caution coming out, and that's what really turned the event around. Aiden wasn't able to get back up to Dylan and get past him as Perry won the Toilet Bowl 100. The guys are lined back up. Pace truck heads on into the infield.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag at Volusia. As Lassiter makes a move to the inside of Perry, Speeds tries to get inside Lassiter, slows down his momentum. Thompson moves into race as well, as you can put a blanket over the top 4 as they go into 3 and 4. Oh, we've got a wreck back in the field. Big one back there as we'll take a look at the Coolray instant replay and see who got together back there for this caution. 72 got sideways, 25 had nowhere to go. That's Chapman in the 72 there. Stacked them up to 3 and 4. As they were 3-4 wide back there before that caution. We'll cycle through here. Pace truck catches up to the field. We know the top 2. That's Foskey and Perry. These cautions allowing some drivers to move up through the field. To cycle through. Big movers though. Brandon Combs, who we've talked about all night having a fast car, he's now in 7th, up 10 positions from the starting spot. Cody Terry's up to 8th, that's plus 6. Brian Voiles has moved up through the field. He's now in 10th. Josh Johnson up 8 spots to 11th. There's some fast cars back there. Tater Williams, John Hine, Hutchinson's back in 15th currently. And we'll go back to green at Volusia. Foskey's able to pull away again going into 1 as the guys stack them up side by side behind him. Dylan Perry's right in his tracks coming out of 2. Lassiter on the inside of Thompson, Spees on the inside of Young. 3rd through 7th are tight racing quarters as they go into 1 and 2. Aiden Young on the outside. Brandon Combs trying to fight his way up through as well. Aiden Young following him. Spies and Bender on the inside. Spees continuing to try to make that inside work, as has Dylan Perry and John Foskey up front. Aiden Young looking for a lane to move on Lassiter, as Lassiter looks to do the same as the caution comes out again. It looks like Zach Chapman. Let's take a look at that Coolray instant replay. Let's take a look at this last caution. Let's see what didn't see it there either. It's our 5th caution of the race. We've got 16 laps down. John Foskey leads. Let's take a look. Some of our best times. See some 16.3s up there at the top of the leaderboard. Volusia, it seems that that lead car is able to dictate where he's going is the best spot to be, besides obvious reasons. But if you're moving up through the field, there is opportunity to move up and down through the field. Fifth caution of the night here at Volusia. Top 6 continue to shuffle up each restart, as Aiden Young's now been able to move up into the top 5 there. Spee's just outside the top 5 now. Thompson trying to get back up there to the front. Bender in 10th. Very fast cars throughout the field. It'd be interesting to see if we can get some green flag run going, stretch them out a little bit, let them open up opportunities, see who can continue to capitalize on that. Because it looks like the iRacing Pace Truck's lights are off. We'll go back to green this time by. Pace Truck dives into the infield.
Green flag, green flag.
Take us to green at Volusia. Top 10 stretch out as Foskey's able to pull away from Dylan Perry as they go to single file restarts that last time. Guys moving all best. Speeds tries to move the inside of Aiden Young, unable to make it work. Thompson moving up in 3, trying to catch up to Perry. Tater Williams and Brandon Combs side by side for the 8th position. Brandon Combs up to 9th after starting 17th. He's on the outside of Tater Williams. Collect that lap for side-by-side going to 1 and 2. Williams slides up in front of Combs. Combs crosses it over to the inside, takes advantage going into 3. Williams will have the advantage on the outside as they go through 3 and 4, but Combs is able to hold him off. Brandon Combs from Cincinnati, Ohio has had a fast car all night as he battles with Tater Williams from Clifton, Kentucky. Little Ohio versus Kentucky battle back in the field. John Foskey continues to lead Dylan Perry up front. Some side-by-side racing throughout the field as Andy Piercefield and Zach Chapman battle back for 17th. side-by-side racing throughout the field, including up front, as John Foskey and Dylan Perry continue to battle as they come up on a lap car of Van Weston going into one. Dylan Perry and Foskey pull away with this long green flag run we have. Perry on the inside, Foskey on the outside, 3 and 4. Middle of the track is starting to darken up. As they stretch out around the track, let's take a lap through the field here. We've got Foskey leading, Perry second, Justin Thompson third, battling with Jacob Lassiter in fourth. Aiden Young has moved up 4 spots since the start of this race. He's now sitting inside the top 5. Another good run in Volusia for him. Steven Spees in 6th. Spees had a very fast car last week until a caution pushed him back in the field. He had to battle back for a top 10.
The yellow flag is out.
Yellow flag comes out. Let's take a look at this here and see what happened. Coolray instant replay. Not catching it tonight. It looks like the double zero of Dustin Kenny makes the lead. Foskey continues to lead. Dylan Perry following him in second. Thompson third. The single file restart that last time really stretched them out as we were able to get to lap 24 before the 6th caution came out. Look ahead, we've got Coolray WinterNationals tomorrow and Thursday. Then we're off until March 16th for the Ice Bowl presented by Carrier at Volusia Speedway. That'll be our 2nd straight season heading up there to Weed Sport. Chase Wascom was able to claim victory up there last season. Speaking of winners, our Volusia winners have been Chase Wascom, Brian Hacker, Justin Gledhill, and Colby Horner the last 2 years. They're back side by side for this restart. Foskey, Perry, row 1. The iRacing pace truck dives into turn
green, green, green.
We're back to green at Volusia. Past the halfway mark as we've got 23 laps to go with Foskey and Perry side by side. Thompson not far behind. Lassiter wants to join the party as they go through 3 and 4. They're side by side throughout the field. Thompson trying to make some moves as Lassiter moves to his outside. Dylan Perry's able to finally get by Foskey coming out of 2. Foskey slides back to the outside as he tries to fight back on Perry, but Perry will lead this lap in Volusia. Lassiter and Thompson get together going into 1. They're able to straighten out with Aiden Young moving up to the 5th position. Thompson and Lassiter still side by side for 3rd. Foskey right in Perry's tracks as they come into the next lap. We've got 20 to go. Bender and Spees side by side in the top 10 as well. Top 5 guys start to single out. Foskey moves to the inside, right on the left panel with Perry coming out of 4. Bender makes his move on Spees as they're still side by side for. They're battling for 6th. Foskey is right there on Perry. following Perry's track, slides to the outside, looking for something to stick, allowing him to lean on Perry. As the top three stretch out, some good racing with Thompson, Young, and Spees. Spees has gotten past Bender, and he's moving out to the inside. Great racing throughout the field. There's Tater Williams. He's rebounded after an early caution that caught him up. He's now in 8th. John Hines moved up 7 positions. He's now in the top 10 and 9th. Dylan Hutchinson has moved back up. He rounds out our top 10 as Brandon Combs now sits in 11th. Got lap traffic as Perry moves through and around Talkington. Foskey has him next, going into 3. Talkington moves to the outside, out of the way. We got 13 to go at Volusia. Dylan Perry, John Foskey leading the field. Top 3 pulled away after going through some lap traffic. We got Perry, Foskey, Lassiter in 3rd. Spees, Thompson, and Young continue to battle. They're battling for 4th through 6th. Oh, Bender gets on up in there now. Young and Spees now going side by side. Spees has been side by side for a majority of this run. Dylan Perry and Foskey continue to battle up front. Foskey's able to gain on him in 3 and 4, following his tracks in 1 and 2. Foskey might be the first guy we've seen in the last few weeks that's able to fall out of first, but stick right there with the guy that got by him. Should be interesting. We've now got 8 to go at Volusia. Right along with John Foskey as he follows Perry. We've got 7 to go. Look at this view, following right in his tracks, looking to make his move. They're in the middle of 3 and 4. He's able to gain on him and make his stick coming out of 4. As with 6 to go, lap traffic might become an issue as they move up to the tail end of the field. Foskey sticking right there with Dylan. 5 laps to go. Come up to the number 75 of Andy Piercefield, moves to the inside. Perry and Foskey both able to get by. Foskey is right there coming out of 4. 4 laps to go, and we have a battle for the lead. Foskey really able to get some big ground in 1 and 2. Almost has another gear as he gets to the side of Perry coming out of 4. Really looking how he can move around that track and make something happen as we single out going into 3 and 4. They're going to come to the white flag. Perry will take it. Foskey right in his tracks. Some lap cars or end of the field cars up ahead. They'll go into 3 and 4. Foskey dives down to the inside. He gets into Dylan Perry coming into 4. They're side by side coming to the checkered. It's Foskey for the win. What a finish as Foskey took all the real estate available, maybe a little bit more, as him and Perry drag race to the finish. We've got Foskey with the win, Perry second, Lassiter third, Thompson fourth. What a finish for night number 1 here at Volusia Speedway Park. What a finish. We'll let the crowd settle down as they'll line up on the front stretch. We'll take a quick commercial break and come back and interview our top 3 finishers. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home, visit statewaterheaters.com and use our contractor locator to find an installer near you.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau and I created the Springrthm app. The Springrthm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a spring smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a spring smasher, Springrthm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes as well as load changes. Springrthm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
New year, new season. Extreme eSpeed TV brings you live coverage of the Light Electric Company Next Gen Series. See the Next Gen Series' biggest stars battle in iRacing's most competitive series. Elbows up, hammer down action. The Light Electric Company Next Gen Series, live on Extreme eSpeed TV. Your home for everything eSpeed. Season. Extreme eSpeed TV brings you live coverage of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. See Dirt Pro late models' biggest stars battle in iRacing's most competitive series. Elbows up, hammer down action. The Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, live on Extreme eSpeed TV. Your home for everything eSpeed.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
We take many precautions to stay protected. Online protection requires the same amount of precaution. Cybercrime is a $6 trillion industry. Roughly 158 people fall victim to this type of crime every second, and a business will be compromised every 11 seconds. In the last 3 years alone, the number of malicious websites has increased by 130%. Bottom line, you need protection from someone you trust. Call Computer Pros for protection plans as low as $4 a month.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. As what a finish as John Foskey's able to get past Dylan Perry in 3 and 4 on the final lap to claim victory. We're now in the broadcast booth talking to Jacob Lassiter. You were able to finish third. What was the view like from third throughout the night as you battled off some guys but watched Foskey and Perry battle up ahead of you, Jacob?
The view was, once I was able to get past Thompson, we had a pretty good battle there, good clean racing, Tim, as always. Once I got past him, I was, just hanging on to third because I didn't have anything for them too. They were a different class tonight.
We watched throughout the night, guys were trying to move to the inside, trying to move to the high side, whatever was open. Was there a preferred line that you found to be the advantage tonight?
I really had no clue in 1 and 2. I think I could stay pretty even with them in 3 and 4. I was able to roll the middle pretty good. 1 and 2, I just couldn't hit that same line they were hitting, and then when I tried to, I just couldn't be consistent. So I just tried to go back to the middle bottom coming off there and just tried to hold on.
we've got 2 more nights here at Volusia Speedway Park. What do you take away from tonight to try to capitalize and gain a couple more positions to claim victory tomorrow night and Thursday?
Yeah, it's qualifying's huge, man. If we can lay down, at least get the top 4. You know what I mean? That way you can get a pole in the heat race. That sets you up a lot better. I don't know if we were quite a 3rd place car. I know we were struggling there in the beginning. Then the car kind of felt better to me as the track got slicker. But as some cars had some bad luck in front of us, and that kind of helped us get up into the top 5. And then we were just kind of hanging on, battling in through the cautions. But I don't know, man. We'll see what the track does. I know that it might be different weather tomorrow night, might be a different time setting. So I mean, some of those things can play a factor.
Awesome. Thanks for talking to us tonight. You will go for your 2nd career Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series victory tomorrow. You got any sponsors you want to thank before we shut it down for the night?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just got to thank all my teammates at 399 Esports, Justin and Brandon, for all their help. They were at a different track tonight running their thing, so I think Brandon ended up winning, so hats off to him and a big win. And then I got to thank Max Green, who's come on board again this season. I got to thank JDM Designs at the wrap on the car. I got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. I got to thank Cody for putting on the league and all the effort and work he puts in. And I got to thank Andy with Coolray for the sponsorship this season. And then I got to thank the wife for taking care of the little one. Allows me to do this.
Sounds good. That's Jacob Lassiter from Dresden, Tennessee. We'll see you tomorrow, Jacob. Thank you for the time. Now speaking with us is Dylan Perry. He finishes 2nd tonight. Dylan, could you talk a little bit about your battle with Foskey throughout the night? You two seem to be a little bit ahead of everybody else, but the battle lasted almost all 50 laps.
Yeah, he's pretty quick right there out of the gate, and then one of those, I think that caution around midway, somewhere in there. I was able to get a pretty good start, and that was the way the track was. It was kind of make it or break it on those starts, so I was able to get around them, and then just fortune didn't fall for me at the end of the race, but we've always got tomorrow night.
Could you kind of talk to us about, we saw it tonight, and we saw it last week as well when you claimed victory. The guy out front has the advantage, but if someone's able to get by him, what does that do when you go from being a 1st place driver to a 2nd place driver, to the car, to the track, what you're trying to do?
It can kind of catch you off guard because whenever you get past, for some reason, the air changes how your car wants to steer, and you'll almost get like an arrow push that you'll see like in real life. It happens on here. So whenever you get used to running out front and you can steer wherever you want to, then you fall back behind somebody, and it gets tough to pass, maneuver around, because clean air is key. That's just how racing is. If you can get clean air, you feel a whole lot more comfortable than when you're behind somebody in the dirty air.
And then that last lap going into 3 and 4, is there anything you feel you could have done differently?
Honestly, I don't know. I'll probably replay it in my head for the next couple hours, but at this moment in time, I can't think of anything.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by and talking to us. Dylan, any sponsors, anybody supporting you that you want to give a shout out to tonight?
First off, I got to thank Andy over at Coolray. He's been tremendous help on here, and then we've got some other stuff in the works, but he's been a lot of help. B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts, all the guys over at CBR, they help me week in and week out and just stay up on top of everything. Stealth Racing Carburetors, Phantom Race Engines, Longhorn Chassis for just giving me a good car every week. And I'm probably forgetting some of them, but I appreciate everybody that helps me week in and week out.
Great run tonight, Dylan. We look forward to seeing you back tomorrow night. Have a great night, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Thank you, you too.
And now joining us in the booth is John Foskey, the winner of tonight's Coolray WinterNationals race number 1. John, could you kind of talk us through the evening for you? It seemed to be you and Dylan up front for a majority of the night, swapping 1st and 2nd, and then you were able to get the move. Could you kind of talk just how your night overall went and what changed throughout the evening?
Well, first I want to say sorry to Perry. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have been in that position, and I overshot turn 3 on that last lap. I kind of let the emotions get a hold of me, and didn't mean to hit him that hard. It's just that slick, and you like that setup so tight, and you start pushing. You just got to hold on. And we made contact, and I let off, and I think he let off too. But in my eyes, he's a real winner tonight. He's going to be the winner pretty much all season. He's really fast, really good at what he does. He knows these cars like the back of his hand. But anyways, we had a good race. Led, I think, 15 to 20 laps of it, and Perry got by me and started messing up, and I saw what line he was running, so I tried to settle down behind him, and I caught him, and I was waiting for that last lap, and that's when that move happened. And like I said, I hate it, but it's racing, and I'm sure we'll be around each other again tomorrow night and Thursday night, and I'll make sure the pass is clean that time if I do get to him.
Before we get to that last corner pass, when he was able to get by you, you were able to stick closer to him than we'd seen a lot of guys after losing the lead. What were you able to do differently to stay right in his tracks and keep that door open throughout the end of the race for you to take that move at the end?
Literally just watching him when he got by me. I know he knows where the fast line is, so I was like, I'll just follow him, try to get back to his bumper and set up for that pass. But yeah, he's fast, and that line he was running was pretty much a dominant line. I don't think you could have moved anywhere else and had any speed. So it's kind of just follow the leader and make a move at the end, and that's what happened, I guess.
Going into 3, was there any other move you could have made to get by him there coming to the checkered?
Depends on how the lap cars were playing out. I saw the 3 car was on the top, and if we would have made it through there without hitting, I believe we would have been 3 wide. We would have hit regardless on the front straightaway. But if it was clean track, I probably could have dive bombed the corner, opened up my entry. But with the lap cars there wasn't going to be enough room for all 3 of us on that front straightaway come to the checkered. So,
well, we definitely appreciate the show you put on tonight. Is there any sponsors you want to call out before we call it an evening?
Yes, all the guys at Chip Bangers, Mid-Georgia Foundation, Jacob Howell, he's helped me out a lot. Combs Cuts, the Pro Late Model Dirt Series League, Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. I'm so happy they put this on. It's so fun. Looking forward to these races all year long. Extreme Speed TV for all y'all do for us, and I think that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, John. John was the fastest in qualifying today. He ends up claiming victory in our Coolray WinterNationals race number 1. Thank you, John, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well, that comes to an end of interviews. We'll take one more look at the finishing lineup for tonight's feature event. John Foskey, Dylan Perry up front, Jacob Lassiter third, 4th Thompson, 5th Aiden Young, 6th Steven Spees, 7th Brandon Bender was able to get up there and stay for a top 10 finish. Tater Williams battled back after a caution to take 8th, Dylan Hutchinson 9th, John Hind fast again at Volusia with another top 10. Brandon Combs 11th, DC Smith 12th, 13th Colin Voiles, 14th Joshua Johnson, 15th Brett Carlton, 16th Brian Voiles, 17th Zach Chapman, 18th Cody Terry. 19th Cody Early, 20th Andy Piercefield, 21st John Talkington, 22nd Dustin Kenyon, and 23rd Jordan Van Weston. Well, thank you from me and everyone at Extreme eSpeed TV. We appreciate you joining us tonight from Volusia. We will be back right here in Florida tomorrow night for night number 2 of the 2022 Coolray WinterNationals. We appreciate you tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. From Volusia, we say good night.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau, and I created the Springrthm app. The Springrthm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a Spring Smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a Spring Smasher, Springrthm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes, as well as load changes. Springrthm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.